Okay. Pentateuch. Pentagon. 5. Chapter 5. No. Chapter 57. Part 5. You got it, boss, Roman replied matter-of-factly. The group traveled quietly, parallel to the clearing, and slowly made their way toward Rob's group. Mark called to the response team, as he had to the girls. He didn't want any of the guys shooting them. Finally, one of the team members heard him and told him to hold his position. The man called for Rob, who came back and recognized Mark's voice. Rob ordered his men to hold their fire, and then he invited Mark in. The 5 of them stood and walked to Rob. Mark shook the man's hand. Thank God the team's okay. Why didn't you answer us? Why didn't they answer us? Rob asked. Their radio broke. How many men did you lose? Mark inquired. We only lost 2 in the initial exchange, Rob explained. I was stupid. I was in such a hurry to get here, and I just assumed we were the superior, better armed group, so I wasn't careful enough. I never expected to run up on fully automatic weapons. Anyway, 3 guys got wounded. 2 of them made it back into the trees with us. They'll be okay, I think. One of the guys was hurt bad and couldn't move. He was lying out in the open, and Jimmy Ramsey tried to go get him. Now they're both dead. Susan told me about that, Mark said sadly as he nodded his head. Don't beat yourself up. It could have happened to any of us. The rules are changing faster than we can accept. I guess we just have to start approaching everything from the worst case point of view. I'm kicking myself for not thinking about how dangerous wild dogs could be, and that oversight almost got my son killed. I appreciate your encouragement, but I still have to go and tell 3 wives and a mother that their husbands and their son aren't coming home. Rob was almost in tears. Mark patted the man on the back. Right now, we have to figure out how we are going to deal with this. Do you have any ideas? I'm not sure. This is more of a military operation than a law enforcement one. Kurt should be here in a few minutes. Gunny's sending us some help, along with your doctor and nurse. I figure when everyone gets here, we can make a plan. Rob took a deep breath. A few shots from the MZBs, and Rob's men answered back in kind. You told Kurt to be careful coming in, Mark asked. Yeah, I sent 2 guys back to the bus. It's about a quarter mile away. One to bring Kurt and the other to bring your Silver Hills crew in through the woods. Good. Gunny's probably sending some of our guys with rifles that have some of the red dot sights we bought. Susan said there are closer to 60 in the group than 40. Debbie underestimated it. When the radio broke, they couldn't let you know. And they're behind some pretty big trees. You could shoot all night and not hit any of them without a lucky shot. Anyway, when the guys with the red dots get here, I think I should take 3 or 4 of them and try to flank these SOBs. Then you can distract them with covering fire, and we can try to pick them off a few at a time. If there's enough noise from everybody shooting, maybe they won't figure out what's going on until it's too late. That sounds like a good plan, Rob said. Mark tried to think of what else they could do. He wondered what the MZBs were planning. If they rushed Rob's guys before Kurt got here, would they be able to hold the aggressors off? He hoped so. Fortunately, Kurt showed up just a few minutes later. Rob went over everything that had happened, and then Mark presented his plan to the sheriff. How many of them are there? Kurt asked. 50 or 55 now, Rob answered. I don't know, Mark. That's a lot of guys for you to take out 4 or 5 at a time. I think at most you might be able to use that tactic 2 or 3 times before they figured someone's behind them. Do you think Gunny might send 10 guys with rifles? He might, Mark speculated. I think if you had 10 guys and we could take out 20 of them before they figured out what was happening, we might get the rest to surrender. Let's see how many he sends and then talk about it again, Kurt suggested.